Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest episode of our favorite zombie show, The Walking Dead. They just dropped a new episode and I finished watching it a few minutes ago. There's a lot to talk about as usual, and as per my episode reviews and video reviews like this one, please be warned this is a spoiler-filled episode review. Again, if you're not caught up by The Walking Dead by the first 3 episodes of this season, or at least by this episode, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be going into spoilers. So, you have been warned. That being said, let's jump right into it. Okay, spoilers starting now. First and foremost, I cannot tell you how insanely happy I am that the Highwaymen are still amongst the survivors. Angela Kang teased last year after the end of that particularly shocking and sad episode where all of those characters got beheaded and left on pikes, including Tara and, of course, Carol and Ezekiel's adopted son, Henry. I was also particularly bummed about Ozzy and Alec. Ozzy was the leader of the Highwaymen, who were the, at first, confrontational and hostile new group of survivors that our characters encountered, but then they struck up a deal to protect their land and their roads leading to the kingdom for the incoming fair, and became unsung heroes of the Allies when they bravely tried to free the doomed victims from Alpha's wrath before they were all beheaded. So I was very, very happy to see at least one member of the Highwaymen, and she said the Highwaymen want justice, implying the rest of them were either in that meeting or they're within the community itself or with the communities. So I was very, very happy to see that the Highwaymen were still being represented and they're still with our characters, because I absolutely fell in love with those characters. I was bummed to see Ozzy and Alec die, but I was so happy to hear that Angela Kang said more Highwaymen stuff was coming for this season, and I certainly hope she makes good on her promise. So I'm happy to see that. I'm glad that Negan is finally out, even though he's under supervision, helping kill walkers. I loved the tense confrontations between him and Aaron. I also love how Aaron is making good on Ross Marquand's promise that he was done being Mr. Nice Guy, that he's had enough of everybody else's shit, and he's not holding back. And I loved how he wasn't even intimidated by Negan. Like, he even went as far to insult him, telling him, well, you know what? It's your fault that your wife died. You're going to say it's my fault my boyfriend died? Well, guess what? Your wife died because of you, so face! It was very intense there for a while. I wasn't sure if Negan was going to bash his brains in or just kill him or leave him for dead, but he actually ended up saving his life several times, perhaps trying to further prove he's trying to be on good standing with the Allies, or at least with Michonne and Aaron, or at least the people of Alexandria. But I think it's going to take a lot more than that to show them that he's on their side. But I was just delighted that we got an uncaged Negan finally. How long he remains uncaged remains to be seen, but I did enjoy Jeffrey Dean Morgan's scenes in this episode. I also love how they really played around with the idea of PTSD, like the nightmarish hallucinations that poor Carol was suffering, just picturing all of her dead children on that book cover with her as like the housewife. That was great, unsettling, scary, kind of sad, but great. And then, of course, they continue to show just how much it's been affecting Sadiq. But I also love how the new doctor, opened up to him and told him, hey, it's okay to feel this way. I've been there. I know how you feel. So at least Sadiq is getting some kind of outlet. I'm not sure if Carol's necessarily getting that outlet. I never doubted that the 3 whisperers that she shot at were real. I knew for sure they were real. A lot of the other stuff she was imagining, obviously. And I'm so glad she imagined that very harsh insult to Daryl when he was supposedly telling her a story about his good-for-nothing father and how she kind of snapped at him. But I really liked that. I loved the meeting at the border between their heroes and Alpha, and how Alpha was uncharacteristically merciful, which means she's probably got something really nasty up her sleeve. And I think it also helps the fact that she recently had her own emotional breakdown over the loss of her own child, which I think might have led to her to very briefly sympathize with Carol, why she took a shot at her. I also love the fact how Alpha was just standing there and didn't even flinch. It's almost as if she anticipated Carol's actions and took no retaliation, at least yet. So I thought that was really really cool too. But yeah, they're really these are really like tension-filled episodes with great character moments, and I feel like the show is getting back to what made it so good in the first place. You know, complex characters in appalling situations, and so far this season, or at least this episode, is proving that. So I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. I'm very excited about the rest of this season, or at least the rest of this first half. You know, clearly the fragile coexistence between the allied survivors and the Whisperers is not going to last much longer, and I can't wait to see what spark is going to be the final draw for everybody. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. What did you think? I want to hear your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your night. The Walking Dead airs new episodes every Sunday night on AMC. You don't want to miss them. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.